This is Optimal Finance Daily, episode 209, Why Smart People Make Bad Spending Decisions, by Ornella Grosz with budgetsaresexy.com. And I am your narrator, Dan. Welcome to another edition of our little podcast here where we read to you from some of the best personal finance blogs on the planet. Hope everybody's holiday preparations are going well. I know things are getting a little bit hectic in my household. We're getting ready to head to Michigan to spend the holidays there with my in-laws. And again, hope everything is going well for all of you this holiday season. Now, today's article is actually written by a guest author on Budgets Are Sexy. Ornella is a personal finance expert, speaker, and the author of Moneylicious, a financial clue for Generation Y, which you can find on Amazon. But before we hear the post, if you want to help out this podcast, there's something very easy and very free that you can do that would make a huge difference, and that is simply to share our podcast with someone you think would benefit from them. And you can direct them to oldpodcast.com/listen to see instructions on how to listen, or you can show them right there on their smartphone. Again, that would be a huge help to us. We'd be very grateful for it. All right, let's get right to our post as we optimize your life. Why Smart People Make Bad Spending Decisions by Ornella Grosz with budgetsaresexy.com. Why is it that sometimes budgets don't work? I think it's because many of us set them up and never look at them again. We never evaluate them and see how we are affecting our overall financial health. And even if we do, our life takes over and we succumb to temporary amnesia. Without realizing it, here are a few reasons why smart people make bad spending decisions. 1. Not treating all dollars with the same value. Here's an example. $100 under your mattress should constitute the same wealth as $100 in the bank, $100 of gambling winnings, or $100 tax refund. Let's say you and your friends take a trip to Las Vegas and decide you will not lose more than $200 on gambling. The good thing is you're giving yourself a limit, but let's pretend you lose $100 in the end. Now, let's say you go home and realize your bank just charged you $100 in fees. Here's the question. Do you feel more upset about losing $100 with gambling or $100 in bank fees? I bet most people would be more upset with the bank charging you $100 in fees versus you losing $100 gambling. Why? Is it because one loss was expected over the other? Mr. Benjamin should have the same value and significance to you. It should be the same way if you won $100 from gambling or received $100 more in your monthly salary. Every financial decision should be made based on its effect on your overall financial wealth. If only it were that easy. We aren't robots or computers who constantly calculate every transaction against every financial goal or need. It would be a daunting task since we're all emotional creatures. Accounting money for different purposes has its benefits and drawbacks. The drawback is that the gambling loss was already accounted for. It was expected, whereas the bank fees were not. The benefit to accounting money, or mental accounting, is that we set money aside to make sure we have money for the bills, retirement, savings, etc. 2. A dollar here and a dollar there equals real money. Take a look at these two scenarios. Scenario 1. Imagine that you go to a department store to buy a work shirt. It sells for $50. However, while at the store, you learn from your phone, you can get an app to scan the barcode of the shirt and the app will locate other deals for you, that the same work shirt sells for $25 at another store 10 minutes away. Do you go to the other store to make the purchase to get the lower price? Scenario 2. Imagine that you go to a furniture store to buy a new bed set which sells for $1,950. However, while at the store, you learn from your phone, again, that the same bed set sells for $1,925 at another store 10 minutes away, $25 less. Now, do you go to the other store to make the purchase to get the lower price? I bet most people would drive to the other store to save $25 in the first scenario, but not in the second scenario. Again, I have to ask why? Saving $25 should have the same value regardless of the size of the transaction. 3. Sales and discounts. Imagine two friends, Anne and Evelyn. Anne said to Evelyn, "Oh look, the store is having a sale." Evelyn responded, "Let's go check it out." And off they went, only to leave the store with 2 extra bags in their hands. And yet, these are the same 2 people who say they don't have enough money to save. I've known people similar to Anne and Evelyn. This is known as impulse buying, which typically involves the use of a plastic card rather than cash. A sale and discount doesn't necessarily mean you are saving money. I can understand you buying more things with a specific dollar amount, but it doesn't mean you're saving. The point of sales and discounts is for the store to have the opportunity to get rid of their inventory. To hurry up the process, the store advertises the sales and discounts to reduce the prices so you can buy more things. Here are a few solutions to keep in mind, aside from setting up a budget. Treat every dollar the same no matter the size of the transaction. When making a big purchase, would you pay an extra $1,800 for a navigation system in your current car? If not, then don't tack on the extra expense when buying a new car. Automatically funnel money to your savings and retirement account. It's easier to put money to the side automatically than to write a check or manually make a transfer. Pay with cash until you're able to control your spending. Ask yourself if you would pay for a particular item if you were paying cash rather than using your plastic card. Your answer might be that you would pay less or not even make the purchase. Treat all income as earned income, no matter if it's bonuses, tax refunds, inheritances, or gifts. Hold on to the money for a few months before making any spending decisions. In the interim, park the money in your savings account. When the time is up, you will view this money as savings, and your decision-making process will adjust. Featured savings tip. You already know that banks pay money for the privilege of holding your money. It's called interest. But maybe you didn't know this, that so-called interest can be as little as 0.01%. If your cash savings aren't sitting in a high-interest savings account that earns you at least 1%, you're basically saying no to free money. Now, obviously, the 1% interest you get with a high-interest savings account like the one at Discover Bank won't make you rich, but that extra 1% compounded over 30 years can grow into a big pile of cash. And if you want to hit lofty money goals, you should be looking for every edge possible. Here's another way to look at it. If you leave $50,000 in a regular savings account, that's almost $500 you're just throwing away each and every year you don't set up a high-yield savings account. Will you do 5 to 10 minutes of work right now to earn an extra $500 a year for years to come? You just listened to the post titled Why Smart People Make Bad Spending Decisions by Ornella Grosz with budgetsaresexy.com. By the way, one of the authors that we read here on the podcast, The Minimalists, they have a documentary that was released earlier this year, and some good news about that. It's now available on Netflix. It's called Minimalism, a documentary about the important things, and it's definitely worth checking out. And one last time, we'd be very grateful if you could share our podcast with someone today. You can email or text them a link to oldpodcast.com/listen, or even better, if you're able to set them up right there on their phone, you can get them to subscribe right there. It's really a big help to keep our podcast going and growing. And I will leave this ending fairly short for you today. Have a happy Thursday, and I'll see you in the Friday show tomorrow with a post from Zen Habits, where your optimal life awaits.
Hello, Life Optimizer. This is Justin Malik, creator and producer of this podcast, but also Optimal Living Daily, the show where I read to you from even more blogs covering finance, productivity, minimalism, personal development, and more from incredible bloggers like Derek Sivers, Zen Habits, Mark and Angel, The Minimalists, and all the ones you hear on this show too. So if you enjoyed today's episode and like taking amazing blogs on the go, come on over to Optimal Living Daily and subscribe to that one too. And together, we'll start optimizing your life.
You've been listening to Optimal Finance Daily. Be sure to hit the subscribe button to stay up to date on each new episode, and head to oldpodcast.com, that's OLDpodcast.com, for a free gift as well as more actionable tips and resources to help you maximize your potential. Thanks for joining us, and remember, your optimal life awaits.